Hey there, everybody. It's time for game 23 in the Southside Hitmen Chicago White Sox replay. It's the final game of the series here in Kansas City. And it's going to be a replay of a game played on May the 5th, Cinco de Mayo, 1977. Pitching matchups, two left-handers. Paul Splittorff for the Royals comes in this game 1-2 with a 4.18 ERA. And opposing him will be lefty Ken Brett, 3-2 with a 3.18 ERA. And the name Brett sounds familiar. It's because George Brett, his brother, is in the leadoff spot for Kansas City. So this is a Brett versus Brett matchup here in the final game of the series. I do have the computer up next to me with the game, so I'll be able to keep track of stats and continuing averages and try to input the game as I go along. Let's look at the standings. I wrote these by hand, so they're not exactly the neatest things in the world, but I guess they get the job done. Standings right now, Kansas City and Minnesota are in a virtual tie for first. White Sox are a game and a half back. Texas 3.5, Oakland 4, and California, Seattle bringing up the rear. In the East, Boston leads the Yankees by a game and a half, lead Baltimore by 3, Milwaukee 4.5, Detroit 5, and then Toronto and Cleveland bringing up the rear. And actually, after this game, the Sox will travel to Cleveland to start a 3-game series with the Indians, and Dennis Eckersley will be the opponent on the mound for the first game of that series. But right now we have business to attend to finish up this Kansas City series. And lineups for today's game, it'll be leading off for the White Sox will be Alan Bannister at short, George Orta's at second, Richie Zisk is in right, Eric Soderholm returns as the DH, Jim Spencer at first, Chet Lemon in center, Brian Downing gets his first start in left field, and then Jim Essien and Jack Brohammer finish out the lineup. For the Royals, pretty much the same as yesterday, although they do have a couple of righties in there now since the lefty Brett is in there. So we have Brett, McRae, Otis, Mayberry, Cowens, Joe Zeb, Patek, Buck Martinez, and Frank White. We have good weather conditions here at Royal Stadium, which means home runs are 1-4 for both lefties and righties. Singles for lefties, everything's a single, 1-20. And for righties, it's 1-16. So a lot of singles in this game, possibly, if it comes down to the home run check or to the ballpark check. And home runs, like I said, 1-4. Not a good chance, but at least it's better than what it was. All right, so Paul Splittorff will be on the mound to start things off. And Alan Bannister will be on the bump, or I'm sorry, at the plate for the White Sox. Bannister on the season replay rather, is hitting .280 with a 1 homer and 9 runs driven in. So we're underway here. It's game 23 from Royal Stadium. 3-4 against the lefty. That is a ballpark single check right off the bat, and again 1-16 will get that single. So Bannister fishing for a single, and he gets it. So Alan Bannister, a leadoff single. He's usually the number 2 hitter, but in this case, he is going to be leading off because Ralph Garr gets the day off, the normal leadoff hitter. So that's why they bumped Bannister up to the number 1 spot. There's no threat to run, so he's not going to go anywhere. And that'll bring up George Orta. Orta on the replay is hitting .267, 6 homers and 12 runs driven in. 5-6, lefty on lefty. A 5-6 is a fly ball to right. So let me write in, I forgot to write in the single here, and then the fly ball to right. Because I'm doing it on the computer as I'm doing it on the score sheet. That way I don't have to go back and basically replay the game over again by typing it in manually after the fact. So Orta is out of there. Here's Richie Zisk. He's hitting .330, 1 homer and 14 runs driven in. 2, so that's a chance for either a balk or a pass ball. Now, Splittorff's balk rating is a 0, and Buck Martinez, his balk rating, or his pass ball rating, is a 3. So if we roll for a pass ball, that's still a possibility, and we are. So it's a 1 through 3, and it's a 4, so he barely keeps it from being a pass ball. But now Zisk steps back in. 5-6 against a right-hander. That's a fly to left. 2 down as Zisk is out of there. Now we'll update that on the computer version. So a fly to left by Mr. Zisk. So Eric Soderholm returns after about 4 or 5 games away. Not playing third today though, he's playing DH. On the season, Soderholm, 241, 5 homers, 9 runs driven in. We get a 5-8 against a right-hander. That's a fly to center. So how about that? They had a fly to right, fly to left, and now a fly to center. They got them all covered. And nothing doing for the Sox here in the first. So fly out to center field will take care of that. And after half an inning here at Royal Stadium, it is the White Sox nothing and Kansas City coming to bat. And an historic first at bat is about to come upon us as Ken Brett will be facing his brother George Brett. Ken Brett, like I said on the replay, 3-2 with a 3.18 ERA, and on the replay George Brett sitting .350, 4 homers and 17 runs driven in. Lefty on lefty matchup. It is 1-7 and it's a ground ball to short, so Ken gets the better of George on that one. 6-3 ground out to Bannister. We'll take care of that. Let's put this in the computer real quick. 6-3, there we go. So Brett is out of there. That'll bring up Hal McRae, and McRae on the season, replay, is hitting .392. He's really stroking it. 3 homers, 20 RBIs. 6-6 for Brett, and McRae is gonna continue his hot ways. 1-7 is a triple, 8-20 is a double. So McRae just keeps on hitting. That is a 13, so that's a double for McRae. And Royals trying to get that early lead as McRae rips the double. And that'll bring up Amos Otis. Otis on the replay struggling. 167, 5 home runs, 11 runs driven in. 6-9 is a walk. So Brett, a little shaken here by that double. Can't find the strike zone, and AO gets a walk. It will set up a double play. That's the one benefit of that walk, but you got a tough customer coming up in John Mayberry. Mayberry's hitting .340, 10 home runs, 32 runs driven in. So 3-7 against a left-hander from Mayberry, and he's going to do just what the doctor ordered for the White Sox. Ground ball to first. It's a 3-6-3 double play. Spencer to Bannister, back to Spencer, and Brett will get out of this jam thanks to the twin killing. 3-6-3. And at the end of 1, it is no score here in Kansas City. So now I need to put that on the computer so that that's represented, and we can move on to the next half inning. 3-6-3 is what it was. And the inning's over. So we go to the second. No score. Splittorf back out. Be facing Jim Spencer, another lefty on lefty matchup. Jim Spencer. 4-11. 4-11's a ground ball to first. Mayberry's going to handle it easily. 1 away. I'll change this to dice entry. Maybe that will, the direct entry, maybe that will kind of speed things up a little bit for me instead of having to do so many clicks. Perhaps this will help. So let's make sure I've got all the things in here. All right, so now I think we're set. Okay, so Spencer grounds out to first. We said that was a let's see here, there we go. So coming up next will be Chet Lemon. Chet Lemon, 225, 4 homers, 9 runs driven in. 3-5 and a 3-5 for Lemon. is going to turn out to be a strikeout. So it goes down on strikes. Out number 2 brings up Brian Downing. And Downing in limited duty, he's only had 17 at bats so far. He's hitting .412, 2 homers, 4 RBIs. But again, limited at bats. 6-8, he goes down on strikes by Splittorff. So that's going to end the inning. Nothing doing for the Sox. So I had Lemon up there instead of Downing. I think I got him backwards, didn't I? Or did I miss something here? Let me make sure, because I'm going back and forth. I want to make sure I've got what I'm supposed to have. So that's Soderholm, Spencer, Lemon, and Downing. So I just think I didn't move the card. That was Downing's at bat. So Lemon and Downing, and now Essien. Okay, so Essien's out to end the, or Downing's out to end the inning. Sorry about the confusion there. Trying to do too many things at one time, I guess. All right, so strikeout of Downing to end the inning. So Downing gets the whiff. And make sure that gets put in. And now Ken Brett's coming back. We'll be facing Al Cowens. Start things off. Cowens, 300 even, 5 homers, 10 runs driven in, 4-5. 4-5 off of Brett is a ground ball to third. Handled over there by Brohammer. And there's one away, so that was a 4-5 result. So we'll type that into the manual dice roll. Get that ground ball to third, one away. Here's Joe Zed. Does no average, 7 at bats with no hits. 1-8 against a left-hander. Ground ball back to the pitcher. So Brett's going to field it easily. Flip to Spencer. And very quickly, 2 down. So Zed retired. Brings up little Freddie Patek. He was the feature player last night's game. He's hitting .289, no homers, 6 runs driven in. 2-7, and he's going to get a 1-13 single chance. 14-20 is a liner to second. That is a liner to second. So he lines it to Mr. Orta, and that's going to end the inning. So a 2-7 was the original result. And the split roll was a 20. And that's a line out to Orta to end the inning. So after 2 complete, no score from Kansas City. All right, we are ready to start the top of the third. And it'll be Jim Essien to lead things off. Number 9 hitter. On the replay, he's hitting a robust .386. 3 homers and 11 runs driven in. Pitch from Splittorff. It's a 6-10. That's a ground ball to short. Patek will field it. 1 away. So 1 down. We go back to the top of the order. To the number 9 hitter, Jack Brohammer. Then we go to the top of the order. Right now it's Brohammer, and Brohammer hitting 100, 1 out of 10 on the young season. 4-5. He's not going to get any better. 4-5 is a ground ball to first. Handled by Mayberry. He'll take it to the bag himself, and that makes it out number 2. My bad. I keep thinking it's the end of the inning. That's out number 2. Multitasking can be a chore in this kind of thing. All right, now we're back to Bannister. Of course, Bannister singled his first trip. 1-6 for Bannister against the lefty, and he's going to walk this time. So he has reached base twice. A 2-out walk. Keeps the inning going for second baseman George Orta. And Orta flew to right his last trip. It's 2-10 against the lefty. It's a foul out to the catcher, so he's going to foul it out to Buck Martinez. And that's going to quickly retire the side here in the 4th. Or I'm sorry, in the 3rd. So we'll go to the bottom of the 3rd, no score. As both pitchers seem to be on their game. All right, leading off for the Royals in the 3rd will be current Blue Jay announcer Buck Martinez, also former Blue Jay manager, I believe in the 2001 season. So Buck Martinez in limited duty, hitting .174, no homers and 1 run driven in. 2-9, 2-9. He's going to hit a solid double to center. Look at that. He loves that column 2. And it is a solid double, and the crowd will certainly be appreciative of that double by Buck Martinez. So here's Frank White. Frank White steps to the plate. 210, no homers, 9 runs driven in. 310. 310 is a ballpark single check. Again, it's 1-16. And it is a base hit. It's only 1 star though, so not going to be able to score the run, but it will put runners on the corners. Runners are on the corners with nobody out. And we go back to the top of the order and George Brett. So let's see if George can get the better of his brother this time. By George. 6-5, and he did. Look at that in home run chance. He of course has normal power. So 1-11 is a 3-run homer. 12-20 will still be a double, which will probably score 2 runs. It's a 3, so the home run's going to score everybody. It's a home run for George Brett. So no brotherly love there as George Brett takes Big Brother out to the cheap seats, and the Royals lead it 3-0 with 1 swing of the bat. That's all it took. So George Brett, 3-run homer, and that brings up Hal McRae. Doubled his first trip, 5-7. Ground ball, second base X. Second baseman is Orta. He's a 4, E23. 4-1, that's a base hit all the way. That's a single, 2 stars, but nobody's on base. It is a single. Let's make sure there's no error on the play. He's the E23, and that's a 9. The error would be on that one would be an 11, not a 9. 11 or 17. So no error, but it is going to be a base hit for Mr. McRae. So McRae follows the home run with the base hit. 4 consecutive hits now. And here's A.O. Amos Otis. 6-2 against Brett. Ground ball pitcher X. So right back to Brett. He's a 2E13. 2E13. 2 and a 6. Or is that a 9? I think that's a 9. That's a 9, yeah, because the 6 has a dot on it. My bad. So that's a 9. So let's check the super advanced chart for the 2 and the 9. So 2 and a 9 on the pitcher result is a G3, which means the runners are going to advance. That's a 17, and he is an E13. So E13, the 17 is a 2-base error. Look at that, 13 to 17 is a 2-base error. So it's going to be a ground ball, but a 2-base error. So that's going to put runners at second and third. Runners are at second and third now. Still nobody out. So the problems continue for Ken Brett. So this one I'll have to do mainly with the 2-base error. And now the pitching coach is out to talk to Brett, but I don't know if that's going to help any. Now he's got to face the tough John Mayberry, although he did get Mayberry to hit into a double play last time up. The infield's in. They got to cut the run off. 3-9. 3-9 and struck him out, so that'll help. That'll get 1 out. Still got 2 outs to go. So not out of the woods by any means whatsoever. And that's going to bring up Al Cowens. They could walk him and set up a force play and pitch to Zed. And let's see if that's what they're going to do. That's what they're going to do. They're going to walk Cowens intentionally. So let's give him the intentional walk. And what that will do is set up the force play at any base and potentially a double play. So here's Zed, infield double play depth. 6-6. And that was bad news to do that because Brett just gave up extra bases right here. That could score all 3 runs, and that's going to be all for Brett as well. So 1 to 7 is a triple. It's going to clear the bases. 8 to 20 is a double. And that's a 15, so it's a double. So we know 2 runs are going to score. McRae and Otis will score on the double. Now Cowens, as a trail runner, was not being held. It's a 16. Doubles assumed to go to center. Lemon's a 0. So 1 to 16. 1 to 16 is only 1 out, so there's no, you don't get the +2 there. So 1 to 16 he'll score, and he does. So it's a base clearing double for Al Cowens. 3 runs come in, and all of a sudden it's a 6-0 ball game. As now the White Sox are in dire straits. As they score all 3 runs. So Zed doubles after that intentional walk. Here's Patek. Red is now tired, but they don't have anybody in the bullpen yet ready, so they got to pitch to Patek, try to get out of this. 2-9. 2-9 is a strikeout, so it does strike out Patek. But that's only out number 2. They have now batted around as we're back to the man that led off the inning in Buck Martinez. So Buck Martinez, a 3-4. 3-4 struck him out. So that took care of that. So the inning's over, but it's a 6-run inning for the Royals as they have batted around. Now I've got to change the grid here by 1 number. But that's going to be all for Ken Brett. He can't go any further than that. He's toast. So they'll have to go to a long reliever. Probably Bruce Dalcanton. Or it could be, actually it might be as Wilbur Wood. I think Wilbur Wood's going to be the long reliever, the knuckleballer. So Wilbur Wood's going to get the call to come in, starting in the 4th. As Brett only goes 3 innings. Faces 17 batters. Gives up the 6 runs. We'll have to figure out the earned runs later. Don't have time for that right at the moment. Split Torf's coming back out and enjoying that huge lead. And here's Richie Zisk. 3-11 for Zisk is a fly to center. 1 away, so very clean score sheet up here, very dirty score sheet and confusing score sheet over here. Chaos is what I would call it, as the White Sox getting it handed to them today. Southside hitmen getting hit on and not responding. So here is Soderholm, 6-7. 6-7 is a walk, so Soderholm will draw a walk. Not much of a consolation there, but at least he didn't make an out. And it does bring up Jim Spencer. Somehow I got Jim Spencer out of order here. There we go. Does bring up the lefty Jim Spencer. 5-6 against the lefty is a fly ball to right. Handled out there by Al Cowens. 2 down. Sorry, this couldn't be a closer game, but hopefully if you're chatting, you're entertaining yourself. Here is Chet Lemon. I got these backwards too, don't I? Guess when I was reshuffling the cards, I mixed them up. Here's Lemon. 6-5 for Lemon, and that's going to be a damage done here. 1 to 2 is a triple, 3 to 20 is a double, so we could get a run scored for the first time. It's a double, but we'll check Soderholm, see how he's doing. Soderholm, let's see here. He runs. Soderholm runs at a 13. He was not being held because it's a 6-0 game. They're not going to hold him. He gets the boost to make it a 15. And the center fielder, though, AO, is a -4. So you're talking about, in full calculations here, let's see, Not being held is a 13. He's not held, it makes him a 14. Then the +2 makes it a 16, but the -4 makes it a 12. So it's a 1 to 12. You know what? They'll go ahead and take a chance. Why not? And he's out. Of course, that's the way the luck's been going. So it's 8 to 2. We'll call it 8 to 6 to 2 just to be fancy. And the inning is over. So nothing doing there for the Sox. And we go to the bottom of the 4th with new pitcher, Wilbur Wood. The aged one. The aged knuckleballer, Wilbur Wood. He will be up there. And I think going forward, I'm going to go ahead and just play this thing out without the computer so that we can get this thing rolling along. It's just taking too long to do it that way. So let's not worry about that. And that way we can move on to bigger and better things. Okay. Now we get back to business. Even though business is not very good right now, it's 6 to nothing, so might not be many people still watching, but for those who are, we'll go ahead and pick it back up. Wilbur Wood facing Frank White. Wilbur Wood facing Frank White. Let's readjust here so you can see everything. There we go. Alright, so Wilbur Wood will be facing the number 9 hitter Frank White. 6-12, it's a ground ball to third, so handled over there by Brohammer. 1 away. Brings up George Brett. 2-4 against a lefty. 2-4 is a ground ball to short, so Wilbur Wood floating that knuckleball in there seems to have calmed things down a bit. Here's Hal McRae. 4-8. 4-8 is split chance. 1 to 6 is a double. 7 to 20 is a single. It's a 14, so it's a base hit for Hal McRae. And the Royals aren't going to think about stealing up 6 to nothing, so we'll just let AO swing away. 5, no, it's a 2, so it's a chance for a pass ball or a balk. No balk for Wood. Essien's pass ball is a 2. Let's see what it is we're checking. We're checking the pass ball. And there's no pass ball, so we're back in there for AO. 3-7, and that's a ground ball shortstop A. That's a 6-4-3. Well, it would be a 6-4-3 double play, but it's already 2 outs, so it's just going to be a 6-4 fielder's choice to end the inning. So after 4 complete from Kansas City, it's 6 to nothing in favor of the Royals, as they've kind of made this a laugher early on. Big blow. The George Brett 3-run homer really, it was only 2-0 at that point, but that 3-run homer really kind of just took care of business. In fact, it was scoreless until that point. The 3-run homer took care of it. Kind of got the ball rolling, and it went downhill from there for the Sox. Here's Brian Downing, 4-4 against a right-hander. Ground ball third base X, that's Brett. And Brett, defensively, is a 3 E25. 3 and a 15, he'll get to that. E25, let's check the defense. E25 on a 17. And that is a 2-base error. Usually, it looks like you roll 17s, you're going to get 2-base errors most of the time. And that's what this is. So it's a 2-base error on George Brett. Uncork that one over the first baseman's head, John Mayberry, and rolls down the line. And Downing makes it to second. So runner on board for Jim Essien. 1-6 for Essien. It's a ground ball to short. And Downing's going to have to hold right where he is. 1 away for Jack Brohammer. We got a 6-8. 6-8 is a strikeout for Splittorf. 2 down. And back to the top of the order for Alan Bannister. 4-10. 4-10 is a catcher X. Catcher is Buck Martinez. And his defensive rating for Buck Martinez, he is a 2E2. 2E2. Go to the catcher spot here. A 2 and a 17 is a G2, and this is a 7. And an E2, there is no 7 there, so it's just going to be a dribbler in front of the plate. Picked up by Buck Martinez. He'll fire to first. Innings over. So the error does not come back to cost Kansas City any runs, and it's still a 6-0 lead. And the old man, Wilbur Wood, back out to start another inning. They're going to be looking to get at least maybe the rest of the game from him to save their bullpen. Here's John Mayberry, and he's got a relief rating of 4, so he can certainly pitch a while. Here's Mayberry, 4-11. Lefty on lefty, 4-11's a fly ball to center, and that's one away. Brings up Al Cowens, 1-9. That's a diamond shot, and home runs are 1-4. And it's 16, so it'll simply be a fly to left. Couldn't quite get enough of it. Here's Joe Zeb. Joe Zeb, 5-10 is a catcher X. That is Essien. And Essien, defensively, is a 2E4. 2-11 is going to be a P/F, but there's nobody on base. There's no pass ball possibility. It'll just be a pop-up, and we'll see if he makes an error. It's a 16, and he is an E4. And there is an error on a 4 right here. 16 is a one-base error, so he drops the pop-up, I assume. Let me double-check it here. The 11 is a P/F, and if there is an error, catcher drops a foul pop-up for an error. Play resumes with the same batter at bat. Okay, so he drops the foul pop-up. So we'll note here it's an E2. E2. Second error of the game, and he's still at bat. 3-11. 3-11 is a walk, so that E2 leads to a walk. So the inning continues for Freddie Patek. 4-5. 4-5 is a ground ball to short. That's going to end the inning. And we played 5 here at Royal Stadium. With the score still 6-0 Royals. Seems like that's a broken record. It's been 6-0 now for 3 innings. As Splittorff, well, for the last 2 innings at least anyway. So Splittorff and Wood matching zeros after that. Splittorff, 6 is his point of weakness inning, and that's what we're starting right now. Facing George Orta. 3-6 for Orta. 1's a single. Anything else he lines to Mayberry at first. And that's exactly what happens. Mayberry snags it. 1 away. Here's Richie Zisk. 5-2, and that's a fly against a left-hander. That's a fly ball to right. Out number 2. I'm sorry, 5-2 is up here. My bad, fly to left, not fly to right. I was looking at the wrong. I was looking at Zisk card instead of Splittorff's card. 5-2 is a fly to the left against a right-hander. Here's Soderholm, 4-10. Catcher X again. That's Buck Martinez. He's a 2. That's a 12. So 2 and 12 is a P/. I'm sorry, it's just plain old pop out. And let's see, what is his error rating? He is an E2, and that's an 11. No 11 there, so it's simply a pop out to Buck Martinez to end the inning. So Splittorff 6 shutout frames, so he doesn't look like he's slowing down anytime soon. As the Royals looking to hold on to first place over the Twins and put some distance between them and the White Sox. White Sox only game and a half back, but in danger of falling 2.5 back. Here's Buck Martinez. Of course, it's still early, only May 5th on the schedule. 3-7. 3-7 is a fly to center. 1 away. Here's Frank White. 2-6. 2-6 is a ground ball to third. 2 down. And the other thing, too, is the White Sox played a lot of road games, so they're going to have a lot of home games coming up, and they play better in Comiskey. 1-8 against the lefty for Brett. He pops to short. So Wilbur Wood has really come in and done the job. He has pitched 3 innings, only given up 1 hit and nothing else. So he's certainly keeping their bullpen from overusage. All right, we go to the 7th. Splitor still in there, and Kansas City bullpen is quiet as a mouse. Yeah, Splitor is just dealing here. Here's Spencer. 6-10 against a lefty. The ground ball to second. Handled by Frank White. 1 away. Here's Chet Lemon. 1-9. 1-9's a pop out to second. There's a dot there, but he's not tired. So it's a good play. 2 down for Brian Downing. 3-6, and that's a 2-out walk issued to Brian Downing. Takes us to Jim Essien, the catcher. 4-6 is a single to center by Essien. Downing will stop at second. No sense trying to be brave when you're down by 6. You're already in scoring position. Here's Brohammer now against a left-hander. You'd think they wouldn't have started him, but I guess they didn't really have a choice because they wanted to DH Soderholm. So they're going to have to stick with him. 6-9, fly to left. That's going to end the inning. So go to the 7th inning stretch, and it's still 6-0. So hopefully the chat's more entertaining than this game seems to be. Maybe I'll try to put some puns in there while I'm watching this with you. Here is Hal McRae. 5-7. 5-7's a leadoff walk against Wilbur Wood. That will bring up Amos Otis. 5-6. Ground ball shortstop B. It's a fielder's choice. 6-4. Bannister to Orta. 1 away. Bring up John Mayberry. 4-6. 1-11's a single. 12-20 will be another fielder's choice. And that's what we got, a 3-6 fielder's choice. Spencer goes to Bannister for the forced play. 2 down now for Al Cowens. We got a 3-7 for Cowens, and he's going to walk. So now 2 walks in the inning. Put 2 on with 2 out for Joe Zeb. 3-5 for Zeb. That's a 1-15 single. 16-20 is a ground ball. It's a single, but only 1 star, so the bases are now loaded. And Wilbur Wood struggling now. He may not be able to finish this game. Here's Patek, bases loaded, 2 outs. 5-8. Ground ball second base X. That's dangerous, though. That's Orta. 4 E23. 4-11, he'll get to that. And that's a 9. So I believe the E23 will be safe on a 9 at second base, and he is, and that's going to end the inning. So Patek grounds to Orta, and another 0 goes on the board. So we go to top of the 8th. Splitor back out. Now the bullpen is mingling a little bit for Kansas City, as it looks like Doug Bird is loosening down there. Just in case. Here's Alan Bannister. Top of the order, 5-3. Fly ball left field X. That's Zeb. And Zeb is a 2E10. 2-13, he'll get to that. E10 and a 9. So we'll check the E10 against a 9. E10, there is no 9. And a 2-13 is an F2, so good play there. 1 away. Brings up George Orta. And the hitmen are not hitting in this game against Splitor. He's had him under control. 6-10's another ground ball to second, so he has silenced the White Sox bats in this one. Maybe they'll, but they do look to get well against Cleveland coming up, although they do have to face Eckersley, which is not going to be an easy task. 1-8 is a 1-3 for Zisk. 4-20 is a ground ball to second, and that is a 14, so it is a ground ball to second to end the inning. Splittorff will be going for the shutout. And Wilbur Wood's going to stay in there, I guess. Might as well. What's there to... Can't hurt anything at this point. Use his rubber arm and let him just pitch as long as he can. Here's Buck Martinez. 2-8 for Martinez. He lines to third. One away, handled by Brohammer. Here's Frank White. White, a 1-11. 1-11 is a ground ball to short. And that's 2 down. And with the score being ridiculously big, what it is, Whitey Herzog is going to give George Brett the last at bat off. And they're going to bring in a pinch hitter, and it's going to be Cookie Rojas. So Cookie Rojas, and he'll come in and stay in the game to play third in the top of the ninth. So they're going to give Rojas an at bat. Figure why not? It's a blowout. 5-9, 5-9, struck him out. Not there, but he's not tired yet. He hasn't given up enough to be tired, I don't believe. So that will end the inning. We go to the top of the ninth. 6-0. Splittorff, since the sixth inning point of weakness, has given up a walk and a hit, so he's still good. He's not tired yet, according to the fatigue system. So going for that complete game. Here is Soderholm. 4-11. 4-11. Ground ball, 4-11. Ground ball to short. One away. This Patek puts it away. Here's Jim Spencer. 6-10 for Spencer is a ground ball to second. Gotten a few of those 6-10 results. And there's 2 away. Last chance here, Chet Lemon. 6-11. It's a walk, so he does walk Lemon. Splittorff still looking to finish this thing out. They don't want to use their bullpen if they don't have to. Here's Brian Downing. 1-4 for Downing. He walks. So now I think Splittorff is probably fatigued, but they're going to see if he can still go until he gives up a run. Here's Essien. And we're going to get a pinch hitter for Essien. Essien will leave, and they'll go to a bigger bat, which in this case is Lamar Johnson. So Lamar Johnson's going to hit for Essien. Did that last night and didn't pay off. Essien would have walked, and then Johnson didn't do a double play, but in this case, Johnson's capable of getting you 3 runs in one swing of the bat. He's also capable of striking out. 1-7, and he walks. So how about that? Keeps everything going. Bases are now loaded for Brohammer, and they're going to call Brohammer back. He's not going to bat. They'll go to Wayne Nordhagen. Wayne Nordhagen will be the batter. Wayne Nordhagen. So Nordhagen is in. And if by some miraculous situation it does go to a bottom of the ninth, they do have Tim Nordbrook who can play third base. Or they can move Soderholm off DH. They got their choice. So here's Nordhagen against Splittorff. There's a 1 chance for a wild pitch. He's a 4 wild pitch rating. At 17, no wild pitch. So we'll reboot with Nordhagen. 3-8, 3-8. And all these hits in column 3, and he found his ground ball to short. So that's going to end the inning and the ball game. A complete game shutout for Paul Splittorff. Those 6 runs in the third hold up as the only runs of the game as the Royals defeat the White Sox 6-0. 2 errors on the White Sox, 1 on the Royals. So let's do the numbers for Splittorff, and you guys can chat while I'm doing this. We can still be chatting. So let's go ahead and finish this up. He faced 36 batters. See how many hits he gave up. He gave up 1, 2, 3. Only 3 hits. A lot of walks, but only 3 hits. He walked 3, 4, 5, 6. So he walked 6. Not stellar by any means. Strikeouts, let's see, 1, 2, 3. Only got him for 3. Of course, the no runs. So I've got the White Sox no runs, 3 hits, and 2 errors. Left on base 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 left on base. All right, now Wilbur Wood tosses 5 innings in relief. And let's see here. He faced 4, 8, 10, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19. Looks like 20 batters faced, if I'm counting that correctly. 20 batters faced. And he gave up no runs. In a no decision. 1 home run given up by Brett. Let's check the walks and strikeouts for Wilbur Wood. He walked 3. He walked 3. And he struck out 1. Last batter he faced, Cookie Rojas, the pinch hitter. It's the only one he struck out the whole game. All right, Ken Brett. Ugly details here. Let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits, 6 runs. Let's check the earned. Well, we know the first 3 are earned. Let's see here. I've got all of them earned except for this one. They reached only error because that double would have scored everybody, and it was only 1 out at the time, so it wouldn't have been the 3rd out. So the way I'm seeing this here, it's 6 runs, 5 earned. I'll see if the computer agrees with me later. All right, walks 1, 2. Well, that was intentional. So 2 walks, one walk, and one unintentional and 1 intentional. Strikeouts 1, 2, 3. That's all he had was 3. So for the Royals, let's see, and Wilbur Wood gave up just the 1 hit, it appears. Is that right? Okay, so that makes them 7. So 6, 7, and 1 for the Royals. Let's do the left on base. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Left 7 on. All right, so there's your unofficial totals in the ball game. Kansas City wins it 6-0. 6, 7, and 1 for the Royals. It was 7 left on. For the White Sox, no runs, 3 hits, 2 errors, and 9 left. Splittorff the winner. He improves his previous record. He evens his record now at 2-2. And Brett takes the loss, and he drops to 3-3. So they both are 500 pitchers now. And, of course, nice outing for Wilbur Wood. He's going to need at least 1 day rest, you would think. But they move on to Cleveland now. They'll be facing Dennis Eckersley. And in that first matchup, it'll be Eckersley opposing Francisco Barrios. So we got Francisco Barrios and Dennis Eckersley will be pitching in game number 24. But in game 23 now, the Sox dropped to 13-10. They dropped 2.5 games back of the Royals, and they look to feast on the lowly Cleveland Indians going forward. So apologize if the going back and forth with the computer was a little bit slow and tedious. I was just trying it out. It may not be a good idea for when I do videos to do it that way. It's easy when I'm not doing a video, but otherwise it's probably better just to keep it to the dice and the book and worry about the computer stuff later. So that's it from here. Hope you guys had fun chatting. And again, sorry that it wasn't a closer game, but when you roll these things, you never know. And if you take away that bottom of the 3rd, it's a scoreless tie. So just had that implosion there. But I think George Brett's 3-run homer really kind of set the tone after that. And, of course, you got to hand to Splittorff. The 3-hit shutout, the Southside hitman, you've got to be dealing. And he certainly was. And well-deserved victory. So until next time, we will see you all down the road.